It's a little discouraging because, like I said, when you have these big canvases and you've used a lot of paint and you've put a lot of time and effort into it, it's discouraging because you're thinking, wow, am I really doing the right thing here? Am I spending all this money for nothing? Can I be an artist? I don't know. Should I rethink this? I'm starting to doubt myself now after all this time in the program. A lot of people, maybe that happens further back and then they feel better later. I'm hitting it right now. It's like this crisis of, gosh, questioning and doubting if this is something I can really become a professional at. And when I Hello, hi, it's Cheryl, and welcome to my art vlog. And this is where I talk a little bit about where I am with the Milan Institute Art Mastery Program. Just starting part 3, and that's where we start going into portfolio. We just came out of the voice and style kind of part where we started to explore what we want to say, what we're about, kind of what we're attracted to, what our archetypes are, so on. And then we worked on putting sources together, and I use Procreate, and I put a video out that showed kind of how I put the source together, and that was for this one. So I'm going to share with you the first 4 pieces that I would call my portfolio. I have to say, I'm happy with the direction that my voice is going and my process. Not really happy with the results so far. So there's a lot of skill that I still need to develop, especially if I'm going to continue doing figurative, if I'm going to do human figures, because I'm recognizing really bad problems with proportion. So I'm just being open and honest about this, and I'm sharing this knowing that this is still not my best work. So I have a ways to go, and I recognize that, but I still wanted to share it because I feel like there may be other people that are in the same place as me, that they're starting their portfolio, but they're still not sure that it's ready for public viewing. I mean, I'm not sure that any of these would be something I would want to, I've shared them with family and friends, and hey, look at my latest project, just like I have all along with all of my other assignments and projects through the program. But these aren't pieces, I don't think, that necessarily are up to par for any kind of gallery or art show, or especially not sales. And they're large canvases, they're gallery wrapped quality canvases, a lot of paint, a lot of expense. So it's like, I'm left with these large paintings that I put a lot of time into that are, I'm not even sure I can give them away. And I know that I'll improve. I have improved. I have improved a lot since I started the program. So I know that there's the potential out there for me to do excellent work, but I'm not there yet. And I think realistically, I need to admit that, and I need to share that, because a lot of people, that might be the case for you. If you're in the middle of any art program, or if you're self-taught and you're aiming for selling your art, or at least sharing it, putting it in galleries, whatever. We all know there's a certain point at which you have to be honest about your own work, and I'm being honest about my work. I have great ideas, and I probably every 6th piece I do is something I'm really proud of. but I was hoping that I would feel that way about my portfolio pieces. Anyway, let's get started. So 2 of these are paintings I did a while back, a few months back, because I was putting them into, I wanted to do them for, one for a contest, and one was just kind of an experiment to see what I could do with what I've learned so far in painting portraits and doing figures. So the first one that I did, which was for one of the Milan Art Club contests, was this one here. Bring it down where it's easier to show you. And this one is Solstice Stroll, I think is what I titled it. And you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's got I like what I did with the owl and the deer. I realized that I think I make humans' necks way too big. And this one, it's obvious that that's way too big. So back to basics on proportions, right? Okay, so the second one that I did was, I guess I should have put these up in a better order. This was the second one. This one I worked on because I had a vision of what I wanted to say. But what I'm seeing is the color is so off. The skin tone is too orangish. The neck is too big. It's just not great. I like the concept, the theme. I like the composition. Just not happy with the color. So I think this one needs a little more work before it's going to be able to do anything with. But it's close, I guess. And who knows, maybe somebody will love it. I don't know. All right. So the third one, this was the one I started last week in actual portfolio. This one I've been wanting to do for a while. This is called Eve's Crossing. And there's a whole backstory to this, to the phrase Eve's Crossing. There's a whole backstory for me. It's very meaningful. So this represents the culmination of a lot of things that are in my personal philosophy, archetype, you name it. This represents a lot of that. So my first go at my first actual portfolio piece starting last week was this one. Again, I'm not happy with the proportions and the color of her face. The rest of it is okay. I'm just noticing flaws that I don't like, but I don't want to overwork it at the same time. And I think there's not good lighting in here. You can't really tell. In the background, there's apple trees that go back, and then there's a dark area. But this was my first real portfolio piece. Okay. And then this was the second portfolio piece. And this one, I love ravens. I love mystery. I love science. Anyway, there's so much about this one too. Now this was done in more of a mixed media style. That you can see that there's some drips here. I did a lot of, I did spray paint. There was a lot of mixed media in this one where the Eve's Crossing one, that was more just acrylic sketching and acrylic blocking in. And then I did kind of a fat over lean technique with the oil afterward. But this one was pure mixed media, all different kinds of things in the background, not collage, but inks and spray paints and then acrylic. And again, acrylic to block in and sketch. And then I did the fat over lean, basically. So this one is mystery and meaning. And it represents a lot that's about me. I'm not sure if the process is about me. And even the woman with the raven, I don't intend to do a lot of animal with people paintings, although I have a few coming up that I'm doing. Mine will mostly be narrative, and I have a bunch of ideas for the future. In my sources, I've built up a whole bunch of interesting narrative stories that I'm going to paint. I like this one, but I feel like it's me trying to contrive something that fits the popular woman with the animal. And I'm not sure that's really my voice. I did this just to kind of do the popular thing, but it's not really my voice. So I'm not sure how many more of these I would do in the future. Unless it's telling a story. Like if I were to do a painting of Pandora's box, for example, obviously I might have creatures and that's telling a story. Or if I did, I might do some down the road that have animals in them because they're part of whatever the story is. But just to do it for the sake of a beautiful woman with an animal, not sure that's my thing. So, but there's that one. And okay, so we have had a lot of great instruction and videos about, uh, for example, how to varnish the paintings. And I know a lot of that you can get anywhere, but just there are so many great tips that Ellie gives or that Demetra give. And I liked watching the critique of students' work as they were going along. That's really helpful because it helps me to look at my paintings and see in a critique, okay, where are my compositions wrong? Where are my proportions wrong? Where are my colors wrong? And obviously that's the point I'm at right now. It's kind of eye-opening. When you're close to a painting and you're doing it, or even when you've finished it and you feel really good about it, but then you see it in a photograph, or right now I can see it on video on my computer screen and I can see the flaws. If you take a picture of your painting, sometimes it looks better than real life. And that's because you are looking at through a different lens, I believe. But sometimes it looks really bad. You're seeing it in real life thinking, oh, this looks great. But then you look at it through a different lens and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's not looking so good. And that's what's happened to me. I'm finding that my taste is leveling up. So I'm not painting with the level of my taste. I'm now picking out flaws. It's funny because I do that everywhere I go that there's any kind of tile. My husband's a tile contractor. And I know a lot about what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's not. And so now I notice the flaws everywhere we go. And the same is happening with art. And I shouldn't say flaws when it comes to art. Sometimes it's a purposeful thing. Maybe the style, this is how they paint. So I'm not criticizing that necessarily, but I know for myself what I want and what I'm painting are two different things. So I have a ways to go to level up to what I want. This one is very important to me. I may have to completely do this again. I may have to start all over and try it again. Because once I get to this level, I feel like if I overwork it, it's just going to get worse. Anyway, this one I worked on over and over and over. And at first the skin was too light, and now I've got it way too toasty. So it looks really just not right. And that's okay. It's a little discouraging because, like I said, when you have these big canvases and you've used a lot of paint and you've put a lot of time and effort into it, it's discouraging because you're thinking, wow, am I really doing the right thing here? Am I spending all this money for nothing? Can I be an artist? I don't know. Should I rethink this? I'm starting to doubt myself now after all this time in the program. A lot of people, maybe that happens further back and then they feel better later. I'm hitting it right now. It's like this crisis of, gosh, questioning and doubting if this is something I can really become a professional at. And when I say professional, I don't need it to make a living because our situation is okay. I don't need this. It'd be nice to make part of our living from this because in the future my husband's going to retire. But right now I just want to perfect it. I just want to be proud of it, and I want to feel like other people would want to buy it. And maybe I'm too picky, and maybe I'm really shooting off my foot here because maybe somebody loves it and I open my mouth and now they're like picking it apart and they're like, oh no, now I don't want it. I don't know. But being open and honest here. And I think it's smart for an artist to be open and honest because you can lead yourself down a path of either copying what your instructor is doing or your fellow students. I see successful students that have graduated and gone on to be in galleries or sell a lot of paintings and are now painting professionally, and they're sought after and they're doing their thing. But their paintings to me look like the same kind of offshoot of what other artists are doing. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that because if that's what people are wanting right now, then yeah, we're going to want to paint what people are looking for, whether it's a certain color, a certain subject. Portraits are becoming popular. Animals, wildlife. So there's a lot to it, but if that's not what I'm drawn to paint, if that's not what really calls me, then I don't want to try to push it just because that's what's popular. Stories, symbolism, magical realism, maybe some surrealism. That's more what I'm interested in. So you'll see probably the next few portfolio pieces start to turn into a different direction where there's a little more to them than just a girl and a bird or a girl praying for peace or and there may not be people in them at all. There's a few down the road that I'm going to be doing that are strictly animals, insects, creatures, weird things, statues. So it'll change, but hopefully it'll improve. In the meantime, I will not stop painting people because I feel like, if I'm not doing well with something, I'm the type of person I want to keep trying it until I get it right. So I will keep trying because I want to make sure that I don't just give up because I really do want to paint stories that have people in them. So I've got to be able to paint the people in a way that other people, real people are going to want to buy. So, all right, enough of that. But here we go. Part 3 of the program. Working on portfolio. I'm still working on some of my sources. I haven't reached 20 full sources, but I'm about halfway there, and I've got a few more ideas that I need to start working through. I have collected a lot of images, though, and taken a lot of pictures myself. I'm going to try and do some photo shoots to set up scenes that I want to do in the future here. So exciting stuff. And maybe this is a breakthrough moment. I would assume it's just like labor pains. You go through some real crap before you get to the good stuff. So, it's okay. It's part of the process, part of the, the learning and growing. And I'm grateful for where I am right now. I'm grateful for the revelations, and hopefully we will see another breakthrough where I get my color mixing down, I get my skin tones down, and a little bit more detailed like I want to be. So there we go. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.